I am Arman Saffari, Managing Director of StarTech and C3 Automation, and we would like to attend in SPS to visit business owners of factories and different industries and decision makers of latest technology to be used in their factories. And I hope that with attending this show, we can have this connection and we can have new opportunities to work with end user and EPCs and other stakeholders of this market. We started at 2002 in Dubai Airport Free Zone with C3 Automation. That at that time was focused more on system integration for industrial automation. And during time, we saw that there is potential for selling solutions rather than just executing projects. So that's the reason we started 2007 StarTech to focus on the solution sales, not necessarily project execution on industrial ICT.
Okay.
So I can say that last nearly 20 years I was in this area and I have experienced business in different countries of Gulf and Middle East, I should say. I have now also offices in Oman. I have reseller partner nearly in all the countries in GCC.
Okay.
So nowadays C3 Automation, based on the need of the market, is more focused on cybersecurity and Industrial 4.0 factory automation. And StarTech also is very much on IIoT and smart cities. But for both of them, somehow oil and gas is a market to be there. Of course, traditionally, we have been in water and wastewater treatment, and we have good connection to the I should say substation projects for electricity, dispatching center. We sell a lot of equipment like industrial computers or special industrial computers, I should say, and networking solution. On transportation and projects related to road, I believe that we have also a good history because of, again, is a mixture of the information gathering from cameras and transferring to a trustable server, and usually because temperature is here high, so they need industrial type of the switches and computing platform. So we have some activities also related to the new energy and solar cells that we work with some partners that they have this sort of technology, but we are not on mechanical, we are on our parts, we help with the instrumentation and control side. And even we execute projects for them related to new energy. That is here mainly on related to sun. Yes, I should say with our company C3 Automation, we are more. I cannot say it's not like that on StarTech, but the focus of us on C3 is a little bit more industrial automation, factories, manufacturing. Of course, manufacturing in this country is not machine automation because machines are already built coming from Europe or China or US. But when we talk about factory automation, we talk about connecting machines together. So we don't touch usually the machine. Of course, we have always some products of our partners that we need to give spare parts and some services of replacing the HMI or the computers of the new version. But usually we cannot touch to the machine itself because it's some property of the OEM. But when it comes to connectivity, bring the information under one roof, that we call it nowadays IIoT, or we called it before SCADA, to bring the whole information under one roof, and then save it on the cloud and make it available for the ERP or MES. This is something that practically we are in the middle. It means that we are in IT, OT conversion. And always we were, but nowadays, hopefully, because new protocols came and So many investment is there, so many standards are there, so it's much easier to work. So with UPC, OPC UA, and so many standards like that. So now the tools are standard. For us, we can help factories to analyze their machines, what are the possible output of them, and we can get it and we can deliver it to one control room and then make some sort of HMI, or nowadays they call it dashboard, and make it available for the IT guy. So this is something that we do in factories, and it's possible to do even oil and gas or water treatment. I can say that, of course, it affected the big projects in oil and gas because COVID-19 came with the dropping of the price in oil and gas and because of lack of requirements in the market. So for sure it will affect the government, and the government, when it's affected, it will affect to the EPCs and then it will affect to us. So, but there are opportunities. This is something always we liked it, that we can think that how we can make some local manufacturing. So there are some projects running nowadays that they are thinking that even how we make a ventilator or so many other investment, because every country probably found it that in this time of COVID, some isolation will happen. So whoever has the real GDP or local value generation can be affected less, although UAE manage it very well. If you have some factories that they can produce the basics, it can help a lot. Hopefully we have a lot of factories in different areas, because we work with dairy factory or food and beverage, we work with the packaging, so many things. Hopefully we have in not only UAE, all GCC I can say, because our services is always required. We are talking about continuous support of food and beverage to the market, even water, electricity, all the factories. So we are a small piece. We are a very small piece, but we are there. But some areas that is related to R&D and making machines and making creativity come to reality, now it's opportunities that we see. We see some projects is coming to us that we can sell to OEM. So there are some local OEM are popping up based on the requirement of the government, especially in the medical sector. I think so, because when you see that, for example, ventilator, we can make it, like US, they made it for themselves. So we have to wait for them to give it to us extra. But if we can make it ourselves. So I think that this is the concept, means that when you are growing in a country, so many aspects should be considered. One of that should be manufacturing. So I believe that during this time, this value has been more highlighted. I believe that what really is helping us now more and more is that people understand about digital transformation. Of course, we know companies like Amazon, they generated a lot of money because already they transform the way that you were buying to the online. But for us, it's more important that a factory owner or business owner of industry, they can see that they can control everything and they can monitor everything remotely without necessity to go there. Even for the technician, if they have the latest technology, they can change the setup of their devices, controller or the actuator remotely. So that's the reason I believe people should get more belief in this concept of digital transformation. That when it comes to factory, we call it Industrial 4.0, different smart cities, when it comes the name, it adjusts to the market and how it can attract more the, I should say government or investor. But for us is the same, it's digital transformation, and I see it very positive because people saw that they have to stay home and they have to be able to continue their work. It's only possible that you work on a digital platform. I think so because the problem here is that we are in a rich area. We have money to spend, and they can buy ready things. So maybe this drop of price of oil because of especially COVID-19, not because of the new energy is replacing oil and gas requirement. Because that age also will come, that era also will come. But now they were able, I think the governments and decision makers, they were able to see that if they can sell oil and gas, how they should survive. We know that a country can survive, that they can have more production, that they can export. So for generating this sort of export, you have to have the local knowledge to be transferred through a technology to some machine or services that other people they like to buy it. First, that you can serve your country, then you can learn to sell to other countries. So I believe that this become very clear that we cannot only grow based on having very nice tower. So if we don't have local technology, not generating the core of technology, that can happen also based on requirement, but more using technology to create some machines, to create some products locally, rather just you will import and sell it at a high margin. Against what you are selling in oil, you will import. So these issues, I believe, it will affect the mind of them. And you see it. And you see when they talk about AI, they talk about smart cities, they have many new projects. So I'm sure that at least in UAE, I feel it. I cannot say in Saudi also somehow they had this vision. We have to wait and see. It's a little bit early to judge. But I hope in the long-term program of the governments here, we can see more need of engineering and local added value. And then this is where that we can survive much better. And this was the case in China or Europe or even in US. You see that we have to make more locally. It doesn't mean we should not have trade together, but we should see what is our competitive edge. And we have to focus on that area. Of course, new energies for us is very attractive because this is something that it's not a very complicated technology. So if we can have EPCs that they want, or the package builder that they want to make the solar, import maybe some element like the solar panel itself, that even I know that they are making it here in UAE. So then they can bring all these elements together with the support of companies like us. Means that we can help them with the full automation of their mechanical system and giving a good dashboard to control all the solar panel, because on solar panel one of the issues is to cleaning the surface of solar. So they have mechanical and the process know-how. We have automation and control know-how. So we can merge together, and instead of this solar panel control completely come from outside, we can build it here. So this is huge, I should say, investment required, and then huge return it can have to the market. Also, there are so many other areas that we can invest in this country. Even we know that we can take new energy from wave in the sea, and we can take the energy from the ground, from the earth, and also we can have so many other like wind. So the idea is more available is solar panel. So no need at this moment to be distracted here and there. And it's a huge project that it can be converted to even commercial one. Is that even everybody can have one solar panel in their roof. Even we can talk about the smart electrical network, that if they have extra energy, they can sell it to the network, national grid. So all this is local values that we have to think that how we can make it feasible. But for us, all of them is opportunity. Whatever can happen here in this country for us is opportunity. Whatever is imported is taking opportunity from us. The good market is with the healthy competitor. I cannot survive alone, I believe in this. And I think that when we say we cannot generate everything here, this is not logical. But the idea is generating the core knowledge here. Then even if they make the other company make the engineering, they can buy the products from us, or we can help them for engineering. Major issue is that when we bring things ready, then there is no job for this country. Only we have to pay money and then we have to import the goods. Some area is not really possible, but some area is possible. So I think for renewable energy, for water, wastewater, it's possible. I hope that later we can have machine builder related to factories, especially food and beverage. We have a good market of food and beverage. Why not? We'll be very happy if somebody want to make a machine, we can help them to make the POC together. And we do this. In any project, even many of the e-gates that is installed in the airports of UAE, it's the outcome of the POC with companies like us, and then we sold products. So for me, that e-gate is a machine that is built here. So then it depends to the market. And of course, it depends to the support of government. That if they see something as, the value to invest, then they can create some core. And I know that in UAE, the government is having this sort of R&D center. I believe that it depends which market we can export. Because for making anything, you have to see how much you can export and in how many years your investment can return to you. Everything is possible to be done here, but you have to see how much you can sell. That's the reason when China starts something, they know that in their country they have 1.5 billion or 1.7 billion, close to 2 billion. So they have huge market. Or India when they start to do something, or US or Russia. So they have the capacity or scale of business, I should say. The good thing of UAE is that we have very good relationship nearly with all the countries in GCC and even Africa. So people are attracted to invest here. So this investment started now. So many services here. We have even many projects are integrated here. Even we see global accounts like ABB, Emerson, Siemens, they have engineering houses here. So maybe if you were thinking 20 years ago, they were not thinking to do projects here. They were thinking import everything ready just to do SAT here and installation here. But now nearly all the projects, engineering and operating is done here. So this can happen. It depends on how much of the market is that we have a big market like Middle East itself plus North Africa, whole Africa, that if some manufacturing happen here, probably we can support them. We have some advantage because the time difference we don't have with them. Language, especially because of the many countries that they can talk Arabic, close culture, close distance. So many things is there that it gives us this value. But in business, you will not work based on emotion or your wish. You have to calculate. If the calculation goes right, any possibility, I think we have. Okay, I should say that I am one of the visitor of SPS Fair always in Germany. Last year in November I was there. So I should say we are facing, or we faced before, now SPS is trying to fulfill this need. We didn't have a good automation fair and instrumentation. We had industry fair, many industry fair, but we never had a good automation fair. But in Middle East, we are facing this problem because people like more application than the technology. But they should know that they should learn technology that they can implement better applications. So this wish of learning, we have to fortify together. We have to improve it all together. That end user or consultant can be more knowledgeable. Even system integrator, they are coming. They should come to a fair, regardless of which product they want to use in their projects. They can learn about technology. When we talk about OPC UA, they should see what Softing is providing, what other companies are providing, and they can learn to this technology. And this platform that SPS is preparing, I believe, is very essential for our company. But when there is a show only for automation, then we are visible. That's the reason last year on SPS Fair, it was very positive and we could find some good customers. So I believe that we need to accept that nowadays it's not possible face-to-face. Of course, it's going to start, but this platform, digital platform, also is possible if you as the organizer can convince end user and can attract them to come and invest some time to learn more. I like, decision maker from our industry, the industries that we targeted, that we mentioned about it. They can come and visit the fair because they are the most important one. Usually system integrator, they follow them. And consultant, these are very important. Approaching and finding system integrator for us, or we are a system integrator on cyber security nowadays. We can find each other. And anyway, we will come to visit. Although, private sector, we have no way. We have to grow, we have to learn, we have to visit. But more important is that on the governmental sector, they can find this need of come and learning new technology. This is something that will change the whole society. I hope that we can have more end user and consultant, because for us it's very difficult to reach them. As a companies that we sell technology. I don't sell product, I sell technology. So we are so much small for them. They don't see us. But I can tell you, as much as we need them very much, they need us also. So because even when a system integrator or EPC is doing the job, we are the one, we remain and we support them. Because we are the partner of big companies in US, Europe, Taiwan, and we have to keep our installed base healthy. So we are the one that have to be visible, not only for after sales service, but before that also we like to find end user to help them to select the right technology. So but end users do not have time usually. They have time for EPCs because they want to talk about their application, their requirements, and they are very busy usually. And consultant also, we know that they have something ready and they like to copy paste it. This is the concept of consultants everywhere. So, but if we can convince them of the quality of this event and they come and they can join, then it will be very good. I can say altogether in UAE at least, I saw end user and consultant are very knowledgeable. And I'm very happy that we can continue these platforms that they come and visit. In oil and gas, I know that they are spending a lot of time. But for where SPS traditionally in Germany is on factories, they don't put that much time. Few times I saw that maybe factory owner or investor or the government sector that is controlling, for example, food and beverage, they come and talk about requirement of Industry 4.0. They don't see this requirement. So visiting a fair is difficult, especially in this area. We know usually the weather is not, nowadays is great, but earlier was hot. Moving maybe so many times is difficult. But this digital platform brings the ease of attending events. So I hope that at least they can find some time that when they are in their office or at their home, they can visit this show, and this gives us an opportunity to represent ourselves. We found it was good, I should say, compared to other events that they try to focus on factories. We saw that some decision maker from the factory, they came, and 2-3 good projects start from that fair. And all the focus was about Industry 4.0 or IoT for the factories. So unfortunately, because of COVID, many things stopped, But we know that step by step are starting. Because if people that they want to do it, now they are 100% sure that they have to do it. So there is no doubt that it will be continued. Some of our project that was related to smart cities, because of the visitors are now less, they are not going on. Some asset management tracking projects, we were cooperating with the new investors here that they want to control their asset and they want to put some of our technology or computing and tracking system on that. Yeah. It has been stopped. But I am very hopeful. I think that we have to go low profile on cost, I should say, and we have to pass this stage. And we have to be hopeful, and we can be very much hopeful for the future that everybody feel the need of digital transformation. And I think if they feel the need, they will come to visit. They will access our knowledge center. For us also, we had time to review our knowledge center, like websites and I should say partner zone that we have. Altogether, I don't see COVID as the business-wise very negative. I think that many weakness of us, because we are most of the time on the run. We want to have seminar, physical seminar, or attending to a fair. But when we sit at home and thought that really what we are showing to people, and we put some time on that, it's really helping us. This is just one cable factory that they want to make this their machine to be connected together, and they want to be sure that they can implement one MES. So we have done a survey for them, and we were bidding with, of course, there were two other competitors, but we felt that we have a good chance. Different type of cable they have. They have both fiber optic and they have the copper one. They can produce for the normal use electricity and the data transfer. Because what we do is that we can help business owners or head of the factory owners that they can gather the information under one roof, under one software. So this is the convergence between OT and IT. Is that we can connect to their machine, and if there is one gap or weakness on control or communication, we can add that. So then when all the data of their machines is in their computer, then it's up to them how to make their automation implemented. And even we can do for them is that we can help them that this machine works for 5 hours, and with this much production it can stop and they start another machine, and more importantly control their machine, that it doesn't have any downtime. So this predictive maintenance also is possible when the data of the machine is there. When you see that, for example, temperature of the body of a machine is increasing, you have to think maybe there is some problem in one of the motors or something, that they are working with higher friction, so they're producing more heat. So they know better, but what we can do is that if they want to measure the quantity, if they want to measure temperature, if they need some liquid pressure for cooling, we can implement this measurement, and then we can transfer the data to their control level. Two other projects. One was on the related to food, and one was related to packaging. If they want some services, they want some of their machines to be monitored. And for packaging, they want, because they had many machines, they want somehow to be able to help them for predictive maintenance. Because again, on packaging, this is very important, that they have some of the area that they need to create some pressure for folding. And so anyway, all of them, I should say, is affected by COVID without any doubt. But because the production somehow came down, the requirement came down. But because we know that many of the requirements in UAE depends to the visitors. So when we don't have any guests at the hotel, so the consumption will come down. So that's an issue, but I can say that we are very optimistic, because most of, not only these three, but most of the projects that we were working through our system integrator network. Step by step, they are coming back. Of course, for oil and gas, delay is there. It's not stopped totally, but I don't see that much new project is defined. I think that practically we can expect about the effect of the new areas of artificial intelligence. We are talking about digital twin. So many issues that was not possible to design it earlier, you can do it now based on the expert system or artificial intelligence. So I am very optimistic because I think that with this sort of attention from the government and the investor, plus that they want to have a better quality, they want to have a connected system in the cities, they want to have a more secure environment to live. Especially this pandemic again showed that how much is important that we can have a global control over our population. All of them help to define new projects for industries. So we have to accept maybe some new form of industry will happen. We have to really be flexible to adopt ourselves, because we cannot maybe think like before, like 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Because technology also is growing very fast. But I'm very optimistic because this market, at least in Middle East, I can say, there is a lot of room for improvement because we are importing so many things from outside. And we have knowledge based from the expat, and even local people are learning that it's not like before too much room for only go and be investor or business manager. You have to come and manage technology-oriented activity. So when I think that I see them that they are more from local people also. They are coming and they are investors and or the technology owners are coming to invest here. So for sure there will be a lot of way to improve because we have no way. We have to say goodbye to oil and gas 10 years, 15 years. So the only thing can replace it is other industries, local GDP, local manufacturing. So I see it very positive. I don't see anything negative. For us it's good, but if people can adopt themselves for the changes, they can survive. If they want to sell the solution of 5 years ago, 2 years ago, it's difficult to survive.